welcome to episode 3 of Landon in My Brain, and this one is going to really be about my brain, I guess. Just to quickly sum it all up, but this episode is going to be about the music and movies that I enjoyed throughout my very short 23-year lifetime that I can remember, and maybe in a way I'll talk about how these movies shaped me as a person, and the psychology behind some of the movies, but I actually want to reserve a lot of that for next episode, but we'll touch into that this time. So I want to start off with music because I think that'll take a little bit less time, and this is a weird topic for me, only because what I have found is that American music that has been like top selling, or like pop music basically, or like just commercial American music, always boils down to black culture creating it and white people appropriating it into a commercial setting. And I think of that with a lot of the birthplace of a lot of different genres of music, basically boiling down to a lot of like country and folk and blues and rock and roll and R&B and hip hop and rap and just a lot of things, a lot of the dancing and dances that come with a lot of songs as well are just always from a black culture, and just becomes commercial at some point and mainstream to where everyone's doing it, and it's like a meme at some point instead of that culture, and that's horrible. So I'd like to start this with, I'm Mexican and I do enjoy Mexican music. Just last night, me and my girlfriend went to her uncle and aunt's baby shower, and they were playing a lot of Spanish music, obviously. And then on the car ride home, we just started blasting all of the Spanish music that we could remember from our childhoods, constantly being at Mexican family parties. And we just like belted out all of our favorite songs, for like the rest of the night. It was a very fun vibe. It was very nostalgic. It was very fun. But I will say that great music that I enjoy is black music. Like, I don't know how to further explain this without explaining like artists that I enjoy. And so I'm going to pull up my Spotify here. Obviously, you can't see this, but I can see it here on my screen. Eventually, I'll make this podcast visual, and then you'll be able to see me, and maybe I'll have a screen recording of the computer or whatever. But that's in the future, not now. Anyways, so a lot of the artists that I listen to are on a playlist called Move and Groove and Time Machine, because for some reason, I do not like newer music. I just, it's too experimental or modern for me. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, I don't know why, but anything after 1990, I start to get really picky choosy about what I like. But like before then, oh man, it's just everything is great. So, again, to round out the people that I am constantly listening to, the Dramatics, Earth, Wind and Fire, sometimes Elvis, Frank Sinatra, the Four Tops, Freddie King, the Isley Brothers, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, the Marvelettes, Marvin Gaye, Mary Wells, Otis Redding, Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, Smokey Robinson, the Supremes, the Temptations. I really like the Temptations. I don't want to just gloss over them, because they need a bigger spotlight, just the Temptations. And then others are like, can't forget Wilson Pickett. Cannot forget Wilson Pickett. Others include Tom Jones, the Blues Brothers, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, the Allman Brothers, just to like name a few. But I mean, there's just so many. There's just, I don't know, the amount of artists that I like doesn't encapsulate the amount of music that I like, because there's a lot of music that I like. But what I don't like about what I don't like about like modern pop music is how I need to format this is that I don't enjoy. I like music to be of a format, like of a chorus, a verse, maybe a bridge, another chorus, a verse, and not two choruses, but like the chorus played at least a couple times, a couple verses, a bridge, and to have maybe a full, at least 4-piece band of a guitar, a bass, a drummer, and maybe another instrument, or I guess that fourth person could just be singer. But I need that kind of a format and the basics. But what I really enjoy is like a full band, like just practically an orchestra, like just a gigantic band, like Frank Sinatra or Elvis Presley, playing in front of just like 6 horns and 6 strings and 4 drum sets, and like there's just it's a big band, and so that's what I really enjoy. And they just don't, that music just isn't made anymore, or I am too thick-headed to find any, apparently, for any modern purposes. But just what I have enjoyed has always been older music, so that's where I have gone. And then once I have tried to discover everything behind my birth date of 2000, then yeah, I'll start looking into the modern stuff. But there's literally so much, like 100 years worth of music to look at, and that's pretty cool. I intend to look at all 100 years and see what I like before I dip into something very modern. And that isn't to say that I don't listen to modern music at all, because that's not true. Because I do like a lot of newer artists like Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar, J Rock, J Cole, Schoolboy Q, Childish Gambino, West Side Boogie. Is that I don't know. He used to just be Boogie, but I guess he was confused for Boogie with a hoodie. So I think it's West Side Boogie now. Action Bronson, Travis Scott, YG, Big Sean, Mac Miller. Mac Miller, rest in peace, man. Yeah, he was absolutely amazing. I love his music a lot. My girlfriend got me a beautiful Mac Miller painting for my birthday a couple years ago. Absolutely amazing. And that I'm not an art collector, and I'm not someone that usually just sits there and appreciates a piece of art, but that it's actually very good. It's actually very cool, and is the only piece of art that I own. I also have a framed Blues Brothers picture that has another Blues Brothers record in it that unfortunately I dropped one day, and it cracked in half. So I just have it inside the frame because it is no longer playable. But I thought that was really, really cool, was to just put that in there anyway. My brother is the one that got me into the Blues Brothers anyway. And that was his favorite movie. Or no, I think his favorite movie is Battle Royale. But Blues Brothers is very up there as well. And so, yeah, he showed me that movie. And, yeah, it's great. John Belushi, rest in peace as well. Absolutely amazing and hilarious. That would have been cool to get more Blues Brothers music. I think maybe Jim Belushi and Dan Aykroyd are doing something, but I don't know. Anyways, yeah, back to the music. Yeah, even the modern music that I mentioned, a large amount of them are black, and they just make amazing music. this is a generalization, so take all of this with a grain of salt. You know, I'm Mexican. I'm not black. I don't know what it's like to be black, but so this is just a generalization. This is not to say anything directive. This is very passive. I mean this in no bad way. Black people just have a lot of rhythm. It's just the music. They just the other no other culture has a rhythm to them, like black culture that just makes music so enhanced and body movement heavy that just like makes you really want to dance. You know what I mean. And I think a lot of cultures have dance music. I know specifically like being Mexican, there's a lot of Spanish music, and a lot of the genres of Spanish music are just the dances and not particularly like about the music itself. It's about making you dance. And so the lyrics don't have to be good as long as that music, that beat just makes you move. And music is just enhanced by the rhythm, and black music has always been superior in this. Absolutely. Just you I can only express this in the amount of artists ratioed like that I listed here, that in the people that I actually enjoy listening to. By the ratio of how many of them are black, you can see how good their music is, and how much better they are commercially. And again, that's just a generalization, but that's just the what I have seen in music. And music just gets appropriated by the people in power in the music industry, white people. And the biggest example of this is Elvis Presley, right? So we just saw the movie Elvis. Like it just came out like what 2 years ago, a year ago, or I don't know, something like that. And the Colonel Tom Parker was his entire selling point was like, oh yeah, he makes black music, but he's white, so cool. Now I can commercialize him and sell him across the country because people are going to be more accepting of him and his style. And no, they did not like him. Still, he was still too quote unquote black for them. And he still had to change his style and was sent abroad to fix his behavior. And still, that he most of Elvis's songs are just covers of black artists' songs, and he sold way more than them, and those black artists got to see nothing. So that's what I mean by black people are just better at music. They're the ones that make the great music, but unfortunately it doesn't get commercialized, probably because of that, because they're black. And it's still seen to this day, even in 2023. Not a very light issue at all. The music industry is horrible. And even for a white person as well, with what I can account for is reading John Fogerty's book, the lead singer, writer of Creedence Clearwater Revival. And he was basically robbed by that label executive, by that recording studio label, Fantasy Records, I think. John Fogerty just sold an amazing amount of records in his first 2 or 3 albums, 3 or 4 albums, and he was battling basically the Beatles in popularity. Basically, just him and the Beatles are the most popular American bands in the world, and he got to see no money for that. Basically, like a few down payments, maybe a couple checks here and there. But for being one of the most popular bands on the planet, and he's just gets to see no money, then basically everyone feels like he has too much power in the band, and then take away his rights in the band, and he gets again to see just less money out of it. all the time. And so there's a big whole thing even deeper than that, with some money laundering scam thing happening overseas. And yeah, no. So the music industry in whole is just bad garbage, not meant for artists to actually make money. Just meant for executives to make money, apparently. And so that's where all this is coming from. Is that black music is just amazing, and it shows, and so white people find a way to uh, commercialize it, and then it becomes an entire genre of music, like R&B and blues and rock and roll and hip hop and rap, and yeah, so that's just kind of how it goes. So I need to appreciate black culture and know where everything comes from. For that reason, I need to be knowledgeable on that before I feel like I'm able to actually enjoy listening to music. So yeah, that's why I had to get on that long thing, long tangent, long rant, or whatever. But again, going into the artists that I enjoy, alphabetically, I have them in this album. So just off top, the Allman Brothers Band, the Whipping Post, and Ramblin' Man, Jessica, great songs. All three of those songs are in my like songs on Spotify and are in the Move and Groove and Time Machine playlist. And yeah, they are very good, very full big band, and very entertaining to hear. Maybe I guess that's why I like the big band kind of music, is that it's just very entertaining. There's so much happening, very stimulating. Barrett Strong is next with that song "Money." That's what I like. That I do very much like "Money," and that song slaps. Makes me move every single time. And then the Blues Brothers are next. I sorry to just do that to you in the mic. But I got a lot of Blues Brothers songs, and not whole albums. Everything is a swing and a miss sometimes. But Give Me Some Lovin', obviously, the Blues Brothers soundtrack for their movie is just amazing. Sweet Home Chicago, Minnie the Moocher, Everybody Needs Somebody, Shake a Tail Feather, Give Me Some Lovin', Think, all amazing. Specifically, Think and Shake a Tail Feather are my favorites. Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin, absolutely amazing, and my favorite cameos in the entire movie. And there's a lot of cameos. Don't forget Carrie Fisher, also my favorite cameo in that movie. Very hilarious. Just I don't know how they pulled that off. Hey Bartender, Soul Man, Messing with the Kid, also very good songs off of another album, Briefcase Full of Blues, that the Blues Brothers released. I don't know how they did that. Carl Perkins, who traveled with Johnny Cash, and Jerry Lee Lewis. A lot of the times, I'm assuming, touring in around that time. Blue Suede Shoes and Boppin' the Blues are the songs I have on the playlist. I specifically like Bopping the Blues so much that I want to get that chorus line tattooed on my left arm. I want my right arm to be just a sleeve of just a lot of different things, a lot of different drawings and tattoos that I like, maybe even logos. To be a walking billboard or something. And then my left arm is going to be like a book, basically, like somebody just expanded a page of a book and just slapped it on my arm. And that's just going to be a bunch of quotes that I like, that just kind of signify a piece of who I am, and of who I am. And I just I want that left arm to be just full of different quotes. And Boppin' the Blues, All My Friends Are Boppin' the Blues, is one of those. Chuck Berry is next. Johnny Be Good, and No Particular Place to Go. Very fun to say, very swing. Route 66, obviously, as well. I live right next to Route 66, so it's pretty cool. Very dead though. Obviously there's a lot more giant freeways than Route 66 now, so you don't really need Route 66. But I still appreciate Route 66. So bring that back, America. Make Route 66 amazing, cool again. And then Creedence Clearwater Revival, as I was talking about John Fogerty before, their entire greatest hits album is on here because that's how much I like them. They are my favorite altogether band of all time. I literally think just that, like, there's maybe like 2, 3, 4 albums that have ever been made that I will listen to, like, with intention of never skipping a single song and loving it every single time. And there's a lot of albums that I'll listen to front to back without skipping songs. But sometimes I'll kind of like force myself to listen to a couple songs on the album that I'm like, this doesn't hit like the other ones, but it's still okay or whatever. But no, I think the greatest hits by Creedence Clearwater Revival are just all hits, just absolutely amazing. I bop to absolutely every single one. I know almost all the lyrics to all of the songs. Absolutely amazing, and one of my favorite albums on the entire planet existence, whatever. Even though it's a greatest hits album, but yeah, no, very, very, my amazing. 10 out of 10. It's got like 12 songs. It's got like 16 songs on it, but they're just all hits. They're all amazing. The Dramatics are next. What You See Is What You Get is just absolutely amazing. I had that shit stuck in my head for like 6 months. Man, that shit just, yes. Next is Dusty Springfield with Son of a Preacher Man. Yeah, I don't know why, but I just really like that song. I don't know what it is. I don't even know what it is about that song, but my brain just loves that shit. It's just in there like swimwear. Like my brain, it's amazing. Good song, 10 out of 10. And then next is Earth, Wind, and Fire. And again, also their greatest hits, almost all of their greatest hits, the best of Earth, Wind, and Fire, are almost all on here. But the Gotta Get You Into My Life is amazing. Getaway, That's the Way of the World, absolutely amazing. Obviously September. Shining Star, I think, might be my favorite. Or Reasons. Reasons might also be my favorite. I don't know, man. I can't pick favorites. It's really hard. Suspicious Minds by Elvis Presley is next, and that slaps every single time. I fucking love that song. And then in the movie also made it more prominent, obviously, because of how his manager really was. But yeah, there's a few Elvis Presley songs on here, and then Reach Out, I'll Be There by Four Tops, absolutely amazing. I got some Frank Sinatra. I got Freddie King's Ain't No Sunshine, absolutely amazing. The Isley Brothers with Shout, parts 1 and 2. And It's Your Thing, absolutely amazing. Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash. I have a couple songs on here that I found from the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, and Dancing in the Moonlight is one of them with King Harvest. Yeah, that shit just makes me want to sing, and that's what most of these songs on this playlist actually are, is that they make me want to sing. So it's just so good. I know a song is good, like, yeah, when it makes you want to dance, but when it makes you want to sing, it's different. It's like, bro, I'm not even good at singing. I don't like singing. So for a song to be so good that it makes me want to sing, that's good. I don't know why I have a very obscure Tom Dooley by the Kingston Trio on here, but yeah, that really resonated with me for some reason. And then Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. And I guess there's more that I want to say for music. And I want to speed up this process of the music, so I'm not actually going to list every single song that's on the playlist. But I will say that Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding, What I'd Say, part 1 and 2 by Ray Charles, so, top 5 of my favorite songs ever to just exist. So yeah, that's on the playlist. I don't know how Spotify, how podcast links work, but yeah, there will try to be a playlist link. So yeah, check out my Movin' Groovin' Time Machine playlist, and please recommend me songs to put on there. They must meet the criteria of between 1940 and 1990. Um, and I guess actually maybe that's it. I'm very genreless. I'll probably just like it anyway. But yeah. So moving on to movies. This one's a doozy because I don't know like what it is, but I really just enjoy movies. So I have seen a lot of movies. I was a very lonely teenager, and all I had was to sit in my room and a a phone and a TV that I had to buy with birthday money because my parents never bought me a TV, or at least when I was older when we moved to San Bernardino. Not like whatchamacallit. Very I did have a TV in my hometown, but it was like a very old big box set TV. So yeah. Once I didn't have that though, yeah, I just did not have a TV in my room for the longest. So I just had my phone. But then I got a TV, and so yeah, no, I just watch movies and TV shows literally as much as I could, as much as I could consume, and a lot of YouTube. Actually, probably more YouTube than movies and TV shows. I don't know, maybe neck and neck. But yeah, no, I will say that I have seen a lot of movies. Unfortunately, my brain doesn't stick to the directors and actors and movie names and like movie details like that as much as I do music. I guess because music's only like what, a 4 minute song or whatever, and a movie is 2 hours. But I would say that I have seen a very good amount of movies, and I like probably 85% of the movies that I have watched. You got to make a really, really bad movie for me to not like it. Like genuinely, I just like movies. Like even if you make a bad movie, I'll find something to like about it, and like a reason to watch it again. But if you make a bad movie that I really just don't want to watch again, bro, you made a very bad movie. Because yeah, man, I don't know. I like movies. So yeah, 85% of movies I would like, but I cannot name you every single one of the 85% of the movies that I like in a row. That being said, there are a few that I can definitely name for you. And that's like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is like one of the just a perfect movie to me. It's just absolutely amazing, beginning to end. Edgar Wright, I think, is just an amazing director. All in all, I wish to be like him, making movies like him. Very good, absolutely. But others include like Robert Rodriguez. El Mariachi is so good, and you could basically teach an entire film class on how to make a budget film on a movie like that, and it's pretty good, 10 out of 10. And all of the rest of his movies, even Spy Kids, are just it's amazing. Quentin Tarantino, of course, obviously, like Pulp Fiction. I mentioned earlier that Son of a Preacher Man. Just love that song. I don't know what it is. But obviously, I can't forget about older movie influences and older directors like Stanley Kubrick, obviously, Alfred Hitchcock, Sergio Leone with like all the Western movies. I really want to make a Western movie. I have a movie idea that's not really like, oh yeah, look at this is my $1 million movie idea. It's more of just like, hey, I want to make a superhero movie, but I just want to make like a really good one that's not comic related. That's just like, hey, here's a superhero movie. Like before comic movies were just super popular. So kind of, yeah, that mixes kind of like the Western kind of influences, and so basically just this immortal guy that's just sentenced to be immortal basically and just never dies. So he kind of just chooses to be a hero and help people. And I want to make a movie series that basically encapsulates maybe like 200 years from 300 years maybe. from like 1800 to like 2100. I think that would be really cool. Based basically on movies like that, like Sergio Leone. Even older influences like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. That kind of vaudeville style comedy that is just absolutely amazing. The physical style comedy. I love it. Absolutely amazing. Jim Carrey encapsulates the modern version of these directors and actors that are just absolutely amazing. Others also include like Tim Burton with all of his like black and white claymation movies. Absolutely amazing, and obviously can't forget about Batman. Also absolutely amazing. Wes Anderson is the epitome of like filmmaking to me. Maybe also Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is probably also like the epitome of filmmaking to me. That like I was definitely too slow to like recognize how amazing the movies he made were. So like are, I don't know, past tense, whatever. No, yeah, the movies are amazing. It definitely I'm too dumb though, and I had to watch it a few times to really understand what was going on. But that's actually very good, honestly. What I learned is that is very good in a director and a filmmaker is making an audience member rewatch a movie to be like, did I get that right? Or is this really what you're telling me? Let me see that again. Yeah, no, that's very good. I like that a lot. Mel Brooks is a very good comedy actor that I admire. That is just comedy, just oh my god, hilarious. Blazing Saddles. This is one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Fucking love that movie. Hilarious. The Coen brothers also make some very good, hilarious movies. Very surprising how good their movies are. Like all of their movies are genreless. Like I don't know how to explain it, but they're this like just dry humor that is just so good. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Jordan Peele is just blowing me out of the water and just blowing my mind, like just absolutely amazing. Nope was so good. I saw that in theaters and I was like, whoa. The things that you can do with filmmaking, just absolutely amazing. I really want to make movies. I really want to be a filmmaker. It's just so cool. And tying in together with the music and black culture and things like that. I like to specifically name like the black directors that I like because they're again it's just a part of that culture that gets taken from too much, and I would not like to be a part of that. I would like to enjoy these movies and black culture and things like that. And so, in a guilt-free, conscious way, I'd like to really amplify that. There's a lot of other subject matter behind it. Like, yeah, you can just enjoy a movie or enjoy a song, but when there's generations of things happening behind the scenes of that song, it's harder to enjoy in my opinion without really knowing like the comprehensiveness and the complexness of what's really going on and how our world is, and how an entire culture can just be discriminated against so hard and so prominently. It's just like damn. And I as a Mexican, and obviously Mexicans are also discriminated against, and probably I don't know. I don't want to rank discrimination. Everyone is discriminated against if you're just not white. That's just how it is. But yeah, I really think that black people have it harder than a lot of other cultures, just because of how white people are and how America has become America, basically. So directors that I like, segueing into this, encapsulating everything, obviously. Spike Lee, Barry Jenkins, John Singleton, Ryan Coogler, Bill Duke, Antoine Fuqua, Jordan Peele, the Hughes brothers, Gina Prince Bythewood, George Tillman Jr., F. Gary Gray, Dee Rees. Just amazing movies all around. Specifically, John Singleton and Ryan Coogler, and Jordan Peele. I've just blown my mind with movies and filmmaking. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's hard for me to name movies. So I don't know if you're judging me and being like, man, you don't even know anything about movies. Like, yeah, no. I do know a thing or two about movies, but I'm always learning and I'm always trying to learn more. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more movies and TV shows and things that I like, but it's hard to just kind of like name things. To name every single movie that I like and name every single TV show that I like. So, yeah, no, I'm sorry if I sound like a really dumb movie person. I promise if you just keep listening to me and keep tuning into the podcast, I will sound a lot smarter and you'll understand more where I'm coming from, and you'll learn that I'm just bad at describing things and bad at describing how I feel and the things that I like. But I will get better at this. That's what this podcast is basically for. It's a learning experience. But to dip into like things that I'm watching right now, like I'm rewatching Smallville. 10 out of 10. Smallville is hilarious. Hilariously 2000s. I don't know how else to describe that show, but yeah, it's great. Rewatching BoJack Horseman with my girlfriend. We watched it together. We're rewatching it, and yeah, absolutely, that show is very deep. Sometimes that just really gets into the psychological of like who we are as people and human relationships and mental health and things like that. And it's pretty good. I like that. I want this podcast to be kind of like that. You know, a platform for that. Those deep things, the things that are taboo that people don't really talk about. I'm willing to talk about. You know, I want to learn. If it's something worth learning, I want to learn it. And boy, is there a lot of things worth learning. For movies, I don't know. I haven't had a lot of streaming services. I haven't been watching a lot of movies, so I've only seen 2 movies this year in theaters, and that is Ant-Man Quantumania, which was okay, I guess. Yeah, just okay. And then I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and that was fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. I am someone that very much represses their feelings, and I'm not someone that just cries on a whim, you know. But that movie almost made me cry. I was like, holy shit. Do I feel for this raccoon? Yeah, but yeah, I don't know what to tell you. The movie was very good, very emotional, and I am not an emotional person. So that's how you know the movie is emotional. So yeah, no, great. 11 out of 10. So good. Other than those 2 movies, I really haven't been to the movies like that. COVID kind of ruined the movies for me because now, I think COVID ruined the movies for everyone. But with movies not even being in theaters for that long and just being pushed to streaming services within a month or a month and a half, it's like, why even go to the movies? You know, I can just watch it myself. I have a TV, I have a sound system that is absolutely amazing. I just buy some movie theater butter popcorn that, you know, you can just put in the microwave. And I have my own movie theater experience at home. Just, you know, nice big TV, nice sound bar, nice popcorn, and I'm good to go. But it's still not the same. It's literally still not the same. I don't care, like, how well you build a home theater setup. It's not the same as a movie theater. I guess mainly because you're not like watching the brand new movies that you've never seen before, unless you're like streaming or renting like the new movies that just came out or something. So maybe that kind of takes the aura out of it, but yeah, no, there's just something about the movies that's just so good. Nice vibes, um, better than at home. So yeah, no, I like the movie theaters a lot. I really hope that the movie theater industry is alive and thriving, and which I don't think it is. I think it's kind of floating. But it is. It is what it is. It'll get better. Yeah, movies are amazing. Other things that me and my girlfriend ended up watching together were like The Sopranos. Absolutely amazing. Um, one of my favorite shows to ever exist. Rest in peace, James Gandolfini. Anyways, yeah. Sopranos is an absolutely amazing show. I will rewatch and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch time and time and again. We watched Breaking Bad. We tried to get into Better Call Saul, but I don't know what happened to that. We just didn't end up finishing it. But we're going to rewatch. We're going to restart Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and that'll be really cool. Those are very great shows. Mentioned BoJack Horseman. My girlfriend really loves Law and Order SVU. I actually am growing to like it as well. I never really watched that show. Probably just background episodes like here and there. But no, yeah, I never really watched RRSVU. But pretty great, actually. I love the Munch character and Ice-T's character a lot, and their dynamic duo in the show. Very hilarious. But yeah, things like that. And the reason that I'm telling you guys like all of this, and the reason for this episode in its entirety is basically because yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I want to be a filmmaker. I want to make movies. I said before that I have that Immortal Man movie series thing that I'm thinking about. There's a TV show that I want to write that is very Atlanta-esque. I used to work at a gas station, and the city that I live in is just absolutely weird. And I get the weirdest customers. Like, I don't even know, like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I would just get the absolute weirdest customers. And I want a TV show about a gas station attendant that yeah, just has like the weirdest encounters with people, where the show only has like two main characters and then everyone else is just guest stars or extras or whatever. And yeah, I think it would be a cool sitcom kind of TV show backbone idea. uh just firsthand, being that working at a gas station, that was, yeah, that was hilarious. It was just, I had the weirdest customers. And then on top of being a filmmaker, I also want to be a producer. A producer that just makes beats, like Metro Boomin. I want to be Metro Boomin, like a light version of Metro Boomin that, obviously not as popular, obviously not as big, but, someone that just makes amazing beats. And yeah, so that is definitely one of my goals, is to be a producer as well. So if you have been listening to this podcast in its entirety, yeah, I want to be an NBA announcer, an NBA head coach, an NBA analyst, a music producer, a movie filmmaker. I'm doing this YouTube and this podcast, and yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I know it's a lot. I know I'm just shooting for the stars here, but I'm 23. I feel like I have a lot of my life ahead of me that I can achieve at least one of these things, and I'd be happy if I just achieve one of these things. Absolutely. I'm not someone that is hard to please. I'm very I'm usually a content person anyway. I'm usually pretty happy. No, not a complaint heavy person. Just an opinion heavy person, I guess. And yeah, that's why this podcast exists. Anyway, yeah, so I have a lot of dreams. I have a lot of wants and things that I want to happen. And And yeah, that's like the background of the music and movies. And next week I want to talk about the psychology and things like that. A real, even deeper dive into my brain. I don't think this episode was really a dive into my brain as much as I wanted it to be, but that's okay with me. I will, if as long as you tune in and keep tuning in, you will always learn more movies and TV shows that I like, and this episode will feel pointless. Anyways, yeah. So I have a lot of dreams. Please tune in to see if I fail or don't fail. Next episode will be about me smoking weed, how long I've been smoking weed, who I've smoked weed with, and a lot of my experiences in that realm, in that area of smoking weed, because there's a lot. I don't know why, but there's a lot. And the psychology of everything, of life and our existence, and yeah, gonna give us an existential crisis. So tune in for next episode as well. Thank you for tuning in for this one, and please recommend me movies and music, and I will very much watch and listen to them. Thank you very much.